Hi, BookTube. This is Johnny. Today is January the 1st, 2018. It's a new year. And I thought I'd make a video. Last month, now I was able to I visit some thrift stores, and I volunteer at the local library used bookstore on Fridays from 10 in the morning to 1 in the afternoon, and I got some books there Friday. And I haven't been able to, I just been able to go to local thrift stores around where we live because of the weather. Here in West Michigan is snowing, the roads are icy and slushy, and I don't like to drive in this kind of weather, so I just go to thrift stores. There's about three thrift stores just around where we live, a couple of minutes. And so I thought I bought some used books to add to our library. First I'll show you what I've only been able to, the last 6 nights my wife has been home. So I spent time with her, and I haven't really read much because of, I watch a lot of football, and we had our granddaughter, Josie Joy, with us, I think it was Friday night or Saturday night. I can't remember. Maybe it was Saturday night. And so, yeah. But what I have been reading primarily is this novel that I showed you last month, Dark Man's, a novel by Nicola Barker. So I've been reading that. Read 167 pages. It's really a good read. I really enjoyed it. It's hard to describe exactly what it's about, but I've been reading that. As far as what I got Friday at the library used bookstore, the Book Nook, I bought this little novel called Firmin by San Savage. It's kind of like a little book about a mouse who lives in a Boston bookstore, and you can see the teeth mark of a mouse, how he it's about books. So it's about this mouse and going through this bookstore and talking about different books and different writers and the bookstore. So yeah, I got that. And then I found this novel. I never heard of this writer, but as you know, when I see on a book 100 notable books in the New York Times Book Review, this is from 2012. This was a notable book. Beautiful Ruins, a novel by Jess Walter. So I got that. And I found an Umberto Eco novel, Numero Zero, a novel by Umberto Eco. And then I found this novel by, her name was Julia Navarro, Story of a Psychopath. It says here, Thomas Spencer was raised in the upper echelons of New York society, never lacked material wealth, but that's of little value to a man whose greatest satisfaction lies in shattering the happiness of others. Thomas, the black sheep of his family, harbors only resentment towards those closest to him for what they have more of: good looks, good cheer, good social graces. But what Thomas may lack in charm, he makes up for it in cunning. And it is this that will serve him best when he trades his glittering world of privilege for a chance to crawl his way to the top on his own terms at any cost. As Thomas achieves fame and success as an ad man, he becomes ever more deeply entrenched in the insidious underworld of media and politics. An astonishing picture emerges of a complex, destructive personality who will stop at nothing to get what he wants. So that sounded kind of interesting, so I got that. And then I bought this biography on FDR, taking off the price tags of these little books. This is called FDR by Gene Edward Smith. I collect biographies on FDR. So I had this as my free book for volunteering. And then I found this book at the Book Nook. This cost me $5. It's called Thomas Jefferson's Paris. As we know, our American history, Thomas Jefferson was in Paris, and this is a book about Paris at the time of Thomas Jefferson when he resided there, and has all kinds of, as you know, I collect books on Paris, 18th century Paris, 19th century Paris, history of Paris. So I got these books at the Book Nook. Then at thrift stores, I found at Salvation Army last week, this is a biography of the playwright Lillian Hellman, Her Legend and Her Legacy by Karl Rollyson. I have several biographies by this guy, Karl Rollyson. I have his biography, I think, on Norman Mailer, Catherine Mansfield, and some others I have by him. So I found that. Then I found at Bibles to Mexico this novel by Dan Simmons. I've been collecting the novels of Dan Simmons. He's kind of like, he writes fantasy, science fiction, crime. He writes all kinds of genre. This is more like a crime thriller called Darwin's Blade by Dan Simmons. So I got that. And then I found this biography by A.N. Wilson. I have several books by A.N. Wilson. I have his book, let me see here. I don't know. I have several biographies. I have his book on the Victorians. This is his book, Jesus, A Life. And then I found two novels by Church Klosterman. This is Visible Man, which is a novel. And this is called Eating Dinosaur by Church Klosterman. These are like little essays. He's like writes on pop culture and science fiction and all kinds of things, music. And this is by Tom Robbins, a true account of this is Tibetan peach pie, a true account of an imaginative life. Tom Robbins was a very popular writer when I was like in the late 60s and 70s. So I have, this is like a little memoir, a little about he wrote about his life. And then I found, this is called And the Band Played On. This is a very famous book. It's nonfiction. It's called Politics, People, and the AIDS Epidemic by Randy Schultz. So this is on the AIDS back in the 80s, the AIDS epidemic. This is Eastern Approaches. This is a memoir by Fitzroy McLean. And this is a book by R.C. Sproul. R.C. Sproul was one of my professors in seminary back in the 80s. He just recently died. This is his book, Liveviews, Make a Christian Impact on Culture and Society by R.C. Sproul. This is a book by Carl Sagan, a vision called Pale Blue Dot, a vision of the human future and space. There's all kinds of little things here about space. And so I got that. And then I found this book on the history of the American Revolution, Struggle for Power, The American Revolution by Theodore Draper. And then I found this book, Iceman Rick, Uncovering the Life and Times of Prehistoric Man Found in the Alpine Glacier by Brenda Fowler. A while back on PBS, we saw a special about this prehistoric man who was found in the Alpine glacier. And this is a little book about him, about recovering that body. I think it was a couple thousand years old. Maybe it says here, Iceman is a story of international scientific investigation launched to study the world's oldest naturally preserved human corpse. An astounding cache of prehistoric personal effects were found with it. The dramatic narrative takes us from the day of the Iceman's discovery through 8 years of scientific investigation, political intrigue, bizarre theories, and ravenous media coverage. Then I found this horror fantasy by Clive Barker, The Great and Secret Show. And then I found this novel by Jerzy Kołczewski. I can't pronounce it. I already have this. I have this novel by him, Blind Date. And so I got that. And then I got another copy of the novel Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. So those are the things I found at thrift stores to add to our library. And so I thought I'd show them in this video, and so I can put them down on the lower level and get them out of the living room. So yeah, that's what I found to add to our library. Yeah, like I said, I've been primarily just reading The Dark Man's, a novel by Nicola Barker. This morning I did read. This morning for devotions, God Has Spoken in His Son, A Biblical Theology of Hebrews by Peter T. O'Brien. Like yesterday we had our oldest son and his wife Emily and Josie here, and we watched professional football. And Saturday, I don't remember what I did. I know that Saturday night, when everybody was sleeping, I read The Dark Man's. And so yeah, that's what's going on here in my book world. This is Monday. My wife is off the next 3 nights, and so I'm making a video right now. It's 4:42 here in West Michigan on the first day of January 2018. And I ended my diary on page 2 of January 1st, 2018. And I'm not sure what I'll do the rest of the night. I might make another video. I thought about doing a video I went through all my diaries from 2017, from January to December, and wrote down in my Crooked Fingers blog what I read each month. And some of those books stand out in my memory as things I enjoyed reading, and I might make a video doing that tonight. Last night when my wife went to bed early, and I went down the lower level and looked around for those books and found some of those books. I'm not going to show everything that I enjoyed reading, but maybe take from each category, like history, biography, memoir, letters, things like that, good Christian literature, the best translation, things like that. So I'll see. So I just wanted to check in and thank you for the new subscribers. Thank you for the comments, and hope you have a good new year. And until next time, bye.